Welcome to the First and Inches podcast, where every play counts and every take hits hard. Right. David is repping the dynasty that is the Kansas City Chiefs. George bleeds black and gold for Steeler Nation, and AP is still waiting on the Vikings to show up in February. We're breaking down the biggest stories in football, baseball, and anything in between. We're calling it like we see it, and no fan base is safe. Touchdown! This is the First and Inches podcast.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Hello and welcome to the First and Inches podcast. Glad to see you all, hear you all, or for us to be heard again. I'm Jorge.
Well, I'm David.
I'm AP.
All day. Hey guys, good to see you. We got a lot going on, and we got the NFL season upon us. Opening day is going to be the 2024. I guess, is it 24 or 25? What are the Eagles champions of 25?
I always go when the season started, even though the Super Bowl's played in that next year. That's how I do it.
Okay. Well, I guess they call it the 2025 Super Bowl champs, right?
Yeah, that's what I like. If you say the Chiefs, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl in 2020.
Okay. So is the 2025 Super Bowl champs versus the 2026 Super Bowl champs playing tomorrow night.
Ooh.
Now, let's get this going. All right. We're going to talk about the NFL first, as we have that upon us. I want to talk a little bit about, I want to hear from you guys to tell me a little bit about what your team's expectations are, what your expectations of your team are, and what you think will happen between now and February. So let's start with you, David.
So initially, we talked earlier in the podcast prior about, what do I think the Chiefs are going to do? I said 11 wins. I mean, their division is tough. They've got the Chargers, who are up and coming. They've got the Broncos, who are up and coming, and they've got Vegas. And as much as Vegas, bringing in Carroll, bringing in Geno, they definitely improved their team there. The Chiefs are projected to win 11.5 games. The Chargers and Broncos at 9.5, and the Vegas at 6.5. So when 35% of your games are going to come against those teams, it's going to be tough, though the Chiefs have done really well against them in the past. The Chiefs, man, they've got so many positions that they're strong with Mahomes. When Rashee Rice comes back from suspension, their wide receiver room is with him and Worthy and Hollywood Brown. They're tight. And then obviously with Kelsey's, still the man. I don't know how much they're going to use him in the regular season, but he is definitely the man. The Chiefs got the steal of the draft with Simmons, their new left tackle. He probably would have been a top 5 pick if he hadn't got hurt his senior year. That left side should be much stronger than what it was last year with Tooney and those other guys. But they're inside with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith are both the highest paid player as guard and center. And then they've got a new guy there, the left guard, and Taylor, the walk-in penalty is over on the right side on the tackle. So their defensive team, they're Karlaftis, Omenihu, Jones. Jones is the difference. Chris Jones is the man and makes that line work. Their linebacker room is super strong with Tranquil and Bolton and Chenal. Their defensive back is where they've had to give up and not spend a bunch of money. So, they've let some of those guys walk over the years. And, Trent McDuffie's probably one of the best corners, if not the best corner in football. But man, they've got a lot of young guys in that backfield that, that'll challenge them. I was looking at the Chiefs' schedule, their first 16 games, because week 18 is not finalized yet, but their first 16 games, half of them are on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night.
No, of course.
So I think they only have a couple of noon games all season. So, pretty crazy.
Well, I don't
And
think
then,
Taylor Swift likes to wake up early.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So she wants to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And NFL's
Who
riding
cares?
that all the way to the bank. So
They want to.
Yeah.
She's the gal. Taylor Swift looks like that gal from the Church of Satan, right? The look-alike. So she's got to be playing at night when all the demons are out. I know
So
how.
do you
uh,
think
Chief
do you think the
Nation.
Chiefs really have the best player on, or great players in all these positions? Do you think is the system helps them to be in a position where they can perform well because of the supporting cast, because of the scheme they're running? Because I mean, can you put these guys in other teams and they're going to be Pro Bowlers?
So I think it's really the situation where they've got the Mahomes, the Kelsey, the really good offensive line, the Chris
The
Jones
refs.
that just what's that?
The refs.
The shut up. So so did y'all hear about the Easter eggs that Taylor Swift's been leaving with her new album?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she might be singing at
I
the
missed that.
Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be nice to see Taylor Swift singing halftime and celebrating
Oh,
with
yeah.
Travis after the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year?
Wait, where's the Super Bowl this year?
Isn't it in Dallas?
No, not Dallas.
No. Where is it? I can't
Dang it,
remember.
I
It
was there a couple weeks ago.
It was part of the Easter egg too.
Yeah.
Jeez. So anyway, so the Chiefs really have 4 rookies that they're going to depend on from the beginning. But they may end up having to depend on 5 or 6 of them. So it's going to be interesting to see, if the core nucleus of the team can, get along with or work with these young guys coming in.
Oh yeah, San Francisco. That's what it is.
San Francisco. There you go.
Yes, I was in San Francisco last month, and they were already getting things ready, taking them to storage and stuff for the Super Bowl halftime show for Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
they're going to be
did
dropping
people
bracelets
report
from
that?
the sky.
The Olympics are out in LA. When is it the Olympics are going to be in LA? Is it 2 years from now? Is it 2020? Oh, no, it's next year, right? 2026, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big things in California, boys.
Yeah.
Real
What
big
about
things.
the World Cup? Are they having a game in California too? Are they using a stadium there?
Oh,
Probably.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll use SoFi. The
There's
Chiefs,
a lot
the
going
Chiefs,
on.
Arrowhead has a game or two. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Well, I mean, I think we can expect the Chiefs to do well until they don't. I don't know. If we'll talk about the projections for the playoffs and all that, but yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's not necessarily that you may have the best players. I think that you have a culture in Kansas City
Yeah,
of winning, and whoever you put in there, they believe they can win, and they're going to do a great job, and they're going to be put in the position to be able to do a great job. So somebody needs to knock them down. All right. Well, what do we know about the Vikings this year?
All right, let's get on with it. So I'm not going to touch on J.J. McCarthy. Everybody knows the offense. Jettas, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. They just traded for Adam Thielen coming back home. He was an undrafted free agent back in 2014. He's carved out a hell of a career. He's going to be in the Ring of Honor for sure. But the main thing I want to highlight for the Vikings is their defense. I feel like they've improved year over year with just in their overall, the complete room. So last year they had Van Ginkel and Jonathan Grenard were 2 big free agents that they signed. Both of those guys were top 12 defensive player of the years. They had a weak defensive line, and they run a lot of 3-4. So they went out and they got Jonathan Allen. He was from San Francisco, and Javon Hargrave. He was from the Commanders. I may have flip-flopped those teams, but they're going to be on that front line, which is going to allow Grenard and Van Ginkel, defensive player of the year guys, to drop down. So both those guys had double-digit sacks. I fully expect big years from that. They're going to, they have a real heavy blitz style defense, so it's going to be even bigger. They've also incorporated that rookie from last year that they got, Dallas Turner. They got him. They traded up to get him with the 17th pick. They barely used him because, like I said, they had 2 defensive player of the year guys. They were going to incorporate him more. So you're going to see a big jump in an already awesome defense that they have. They have a couple other cornerbacks. Byron Murphy, they re-signed him. He had a hell of a year. And Isaiah Rodgers that they got from that they signed. He played with the Eagles. So even their defensive back, it is weak, meaning in terms of depth, but they do have some quality guys. And the secondary, Harrison Smith, he's a Hall of Famer, 2012 guy. He's dealing with a undisclosed illness, but he should be ready for week 1. And they re-signed their strong safety and Josh Metellus. So their defense is stacked. And I think that's what's going to carry this team to 11 wins. I know a lot of people are predicting those 8 to 9 wins. I think they're sleeping on how good this defense is going to be as long as J.J. McCarthy can keep that offense in check. They've also got a guy going to the offense. They've got a guy in Jordan Mason. He was running back, came over from San Francisco. He carried the load when Christian McCaffrey went down. He had a hell of a year. His secret sauce is he's really good on yards after the hit. So he's a big, strong back. He's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a 50-50 time split between him and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is obviously older, has a history of being injured, but he still had a hell of a year, and he can really catch the ball. So Aaron Jones, that is. Jefferson, though, I'm a little nervous. He didn't practice much this offseason. During training camp because he had a hamstring issue. And they just today indicated that this is something that he's going to have to manage throughout the year. And it's going to be managed during practice, but it should be nothing that would slow him down. On the other side of it, Jordan Addison, who would be a number 1 on a lot of other football teams, he had a great rapport with J.J. McCarthy. That's everybody was talking like how connected those two were. Unfortunately, he had a DUI, and he's going to miss the first 3 weeks. They've got
it wasn't a DUI. It was.
Huh?
It was a
wet reckless. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, fell asleep. the Tony La Russa special for all you Cardinal fans out there, whoever's listening. That's right. I'm calling out your horse-faced boy, Tony La Russa. He sucks. Anyway, so they also got a hell of a tight end and T.J. Hawkinson. And they're let me tell you, Hooks, I know you're sitting there talking Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. The Vikings offensive line, top 5, easy. They got Darrisaw, who's, if he could play more than 10 games, Pro Bowler. They got their first-round pick this year. And Jackson, hell of a guy. He's going to be he's starting at left guard. They got 2 guys from Indy, Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. They're going to be center and right guard. And then Brian O'Neill, who's been around for a while at right tackle. Excited, guys. 11 wins, easily going to surpass that 8 to 9 win total. J.J. McCarthy is going to manage it. I think you have big things this year. Better be. I'm going to be pissed.
Hey, let me ask you, did you draft J.J. McCarthy in fantasy football?
No, I don't fucking touch that stuff. No way. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want it to be any type of cooler. I did pick up Jordan Mason because I needed a number 2 for my running backs. I got Robinson. I picked 3 overall, so I got Robinson. I picked up Jordan Mason like round 11.
Nice.
I'll send you my team.
So, and really the thing that you didn't touch much on,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are we, a year from now, what are we talking about with J.J. McCarthy? Are we talking about Pro Bowl type player?
So, yes, I do. And I think anybody that had look what they did with Sam Darnold. Look at the weapons he has around him. He is the deepest. He's arguably the best situation any rookie quarterback could come into. I know he missed last year, so I can still consider him somewhat of a rookie. He's never taken one pass or one play, one snap. So that team, if Darnold is a Pro Bowler, because he was, there's no reason why J.J. McCarthy, if he comes in at 75% output of Darnold, wouldn't be. Maybe not this year, but he definitely is because of the complementary pieces to him. I mean, think about it. Is there a better 1-2 wide receiver duo in Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson out there?
It's great. But I'm talking about if he's as good or better than Sam Darnold, then why not 14 or 15 wins like the 14 wins they had last year?
Because it's not – I haven't seen him play. Okay. If he plays to my expectation, yeah, Absolutely. 14 wins. And they got a better defense this year. Darnold just couldn't handle the pressure. J.J. McCarthy can, even though I haven't seen him play.
Nice.
I love all this optimism from both of you. I mean, I get it. The Chiefs win, and the Vikings had a good regular season again last year. But come on, you have a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I think that by the end of the year, you're going to have a rookie cheerleader playing quarterback. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Steelers. Okay, so I love hearing all the numbers and all the stats and analytics that you guys throw out, but I'm gonna talk to the common fan, the one that just uses their eyes to see what's happening. So I'll tell you what's happening in Pittsburgh is we're going to finish third in our division. Cincinnati is not going to lose as many close games as they did last year. Burrow had a great year. I mean, he had a great year last year, and he's healthy. He's going to have a great year this year. That the defense and the way that the Ravens use their run, they're going to be atop the league as well, atop the division and probably the league. And the Steelers have no chance. So usually, I think this is where the streak ends. I hate to say it as a Steeler fan, but we have a quarterback that's not mobile. You know, last year we only really had success when Russell Wilson was able to throw downfield or when Justin Fields was running with the ball, right? And creating, making the passing game sort of the running game and creating those opportunities. Rodgers can't do that. Rodgers can't do that. He can throw deep, but he's not going to be allowed to throw deep a lot. We got Metcalf. Metcalf, he's not beating anybody downfield anymore. So we really have no shot because he's not mobile and he's going to get a lot of pressure this year. Justin Field could handle the pressure. Russell Wilson could almost kind of handle the pressure and not make mistakes. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is not going to handle the pressure well, and he's going to be pressured down after down. As far as the defense, you know, they say defense wins championships, and yeah, the Steelers have a great defense, but I don't care how much defense you play. The defense is not going to average more points than the other offenses. It's just that simple. So we're not going to win only scoring points from defense. We may even lead the league in defensive points, but our offense is going to struggle, and we're not going to win those games that we need to, especially within our division. I mean, we're probably going to lose all 4 games to the Bengals and to the Ravens. Who knows what will happen with Cleveland? That's a crapshoot because you never know what you're going to get. But yeah, my prediction, 8 wins, no playoffs. And next year we regroup. And I guess for the rest of the year, we're just going to be talking about your 2 teams and how great you're going to be doing. So that's my report on the Steelers.
Is Tomlin back this time next year?
He's back. You got a 1-year quarterback. It's a little experiment. And then hopefully we'll rebuild for next year's offense. Maybe there'll be changes if we do, really bad. And maybe that's good. Maybe we need that. But yeah, he'll be back. Definitely.
Okay. So, all right. So real quick, just to touch on this. So the odds to make the playoffs in the NFL, it really surprised me that the Bills are like 8-1 to not make I mean, they're huge favorites, minus 800. Ravens are minus 550, and then the Eagles and Chiefs are there at minus 375. But I was looking. So Adam, drive over to Kansas and bet your Vikings to make the playoffs.
Going down to downstream. Just go check out that, make the bet there. I need to go there anyway because I got a fucking speeding ticket.
Nice. So if we have anybody listening that can help Adam in his pursuit to try to drop his speeding ticket, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I'll take it. Start a GoFundMe.
Now, in Florida,
just subscribe to my OnlyFans.
There's a new law in Florida. If you get a ticket that is 100 miles per hour or more, or I think, 50 miles over the speed limit is automatically criminal and you go to jail. Like they'll take you to jail, impound your car, no questions asked. So hopefully that's not what happened to you.
How fast did you get your Maserati up to?
170, I think about 170. And
What
that
was
was
the speed
scary
limit?
because I mean, if a cop catches me from wherever, I'm in trouble. But and it wasn't on the track. Maybe I should try it on the track.
So that's cool. So, um, so yeah, some of the teams that I noticed that weren't, projected to make the playoffs. Like I said, it was the Vikings, uh, the Cardinals, the Falcons, and the Steelers. And Jorge said, yes, we're probably not going to make the playoffs this year. But the Falcons seem like a team that's they almost made the playoffs last year. Lost the last week.
Well, who's gonna start quarterback for the Falcons this year?
Penix.
Okay, so they're giving up on
until the Anthony Richardson's himself, and then Captain Kirk is back in the under center.
Yeah,
which was going to happen, I bet.
That's kind of that may be your next quarterback there in Pittsburgh if because his guaranteed money's up after this year. So
big fan, big
but,
fan.
I don't see Penix taking this team to the playoffs, though.
No, neither do I.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's Atlanta. You only need to have like 8 wins anyway to make it out of that division, but I don't see it.
Yeah. That division, man, with Tampa and New Orleans is probably the worst team in football this year. And the Falcons and who was it, Carolina. And so it's like, man, that like what would you like to move the Steelers over to that division instead of having to play the Ravens and the Ravens and the Bengals and
Tampa's defense can't be as bad as they were last year. I mean, they have to be better, right? So you got to think that Tampa's going to win this division. Baker has gotten better and better since he got to Tampa.
Good,
yeah. I have been a Baker hater, but he's actually gotten better and better. I was enjoying it when he kept getting traded.
Speaking of, who the hell is going to be the quarterback in Cleveland? It's to start out. It's
I mean, it's not Flacco. I thought it was Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco.
No, yeah, I know, but these does Shador eventually start? Do you guys think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe game 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
think as it stands right now, that Gabriel gets the second shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
it's so funny to see him because it seems like he may not have the tools that other players have, but he's got to be a smart guy. I mean, because he's efficient usually when he's in there and very effective. So, yeah, I mean, not because he went to OU for a little bit and the UCF and all that. I like the kid, but I do think that he performs well, better than I expected him to in the NFL.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Yep. Yeah, he's a little 6-footer. That's not often, I think, saying successful 6-footers. Obviously, Drew Brees was pretty good. So,
yeah. All right. Well, let's pivot. Let's talk a little bit about some of what we got going on in baseball. The baseball season's almost over. This is the last month of the season. Some teams have like 20-something games left, fighting for playoff positioning. We got one thing that I think it was particularly funny. The Blue Jays had a big lead on the Mets, on the Yankees a while back, and that has all but dissolved.
Yeah.
We got in the standings right now. Let me look. New York is 2.5 games behind. I think they were as far as 6 or 7 not too long ago. So I think that New York might make a push. But when we talk about our teams in baseball, let me see. The Dodgers overtook the Padres again. So that was short-lived for the Padres. And then my Mets and Cincinnati are fighting for the last spot in the wild card. Listen, the Mets have not done well the past month. So I don't know what the heck your Reds are doing.
They're falling apart, and Tito Francona is making some piss poor decisions. But I'll say this: they're 4.5 games out. The Reds are behind the Mets. This next series, with Reds or Mets, is going to either solidify this being a race, or it's going to bury the Reds, and the Mets are going to run away with it. That's how big this next series is for both teams. So it doesn't necessarily eliminate the Reds. Guarantee the Reds in. But if the Reds lose 2 or 3, they're done. They're cooked. They're not coming back from that.
Do they have the Mets?
Yeah, they're coming up.
Yeah, they
They have
play
a
the
series
Mets
against the Mets. Yeah,
next
starting
this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But you also have to play the Padres
Oh
and
yeah.
the Cubs and the Brewers
Yeah.
before the month is over.
It's brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah, so it's a tough road.
They but I just watching the Reds play, there's a couple different things that happened. They're so predictably cheap. They're really struggling with the bullpen, right? They've got a couple studs in there, but the whole bullpen of a whole has really struggled. I'll tell you this. Nick Kroll, who's the president of operations, said that we did add to the bullpen because they traded for Zach Little, and they were able to move Nick Martinez, who was in the starting rotation, into the bullpen. I see what he did, but it still didn't fix the true problem. They don't have a deep enough bullpen. If they would have added a piece and Zach Little and moved Nick Martinez there, they could have added multiple pieces, but instead they went the cheap route. And it's turned out to be, it was actually, I think Nick Martinez was in the bullpen for a week, and then Chase Burns had the elbow strain, so he's been out, and so Nick Martinez went back in there. Now they've since got Nick Lodolo back. He had the blister. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that a whole lot of stuff has to go right for the Reds, and since I've been a fan for the past 27 years, it doesn't happen often. And I think that the Mets are going to take 2 out of 3 and bury the Reds. The Mets are going to coast to the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you guys didn't spend any money, but my Dodgers spent a ton of money for that bullpen, and I think they just put a wheel up, spin it, and say who's going to lose the lead tonight. Okay, yeah, we pay you $10 million to be a reliever. Yeah, got to blow this one, I guess.
But at least they tried. My point is, at least they tried, and I admire that about the team like the Dodgers or the Mets, for that matter. Back when they went Verlander and Scherzer, right? At least they're trying. The Reds handicapped themselves by saying they're too poor, and I'm not going to pretend I have any idea what goes on in their front office, and I'm not managing their money. That's their right to do what they want. But as a fan, it still sucks whenever you see other teams out there. And the Reds don't even have to try. I'm not saying go out and sign those guys, those big deals. They don't have to go sign $10 million reliever like you just said, Hooks, but at least do something more than the just running out the average. And here's the problem. They've got a lot of young guys that are in these pre-arbitration years, and some of them are rolling into the arbitration years. And you're losing that competitive window that they had. They were a top 10 farm system, and they're burning up these years. And these guys are going to be, free agents or, for the first time. And there's no loyalty. We all know that. We see it in every one of our sports. And they shouldn't be. And here's why I'm upset with it. They had an opportunity to go big. There will be a lockout barring anything amazing after the end of next year, after the end of 2026, right? So why not just put it all into the table? And they've done it with these dumbass decisions. They're trying to replicate what they did in 08, 09 when they traded for Scott Rowland. They need a leader in the clubhouse. They need a guy that's going to be a voice in that clubhouse. They lack that. They tried doing it with Mike Moustakas. That fell flat. He was horrible. And they tried it again with Jeimer Candelario. He was worse than Moustakas. But the problem is that they spend on one guy, they focus in on one guy, and they think this is going to remedy it. And it blows up in their face. And they've had these shit signings, terrible bullpen, terrible depth, and they've got guys with just bad luck. But the problem is when you have bad luck, if you don't have depth, it's horrible luck, right? So,
yeah. So Jorge,
I think the secret sauce and the recipe, in my opinion, you need to spend money on 2 good starters. They're going to give you innings, right?
Yeah.
Quality innings. And then 3 shutdown bullpen arms, 7, 8, and 9. I remember back in 2011, the recipe for the Rangers to make it to the World Series. They had 3 good pitchers, maybe 4 actually, but 3 good pitchers that get you deep. And then you shut them down 7th, 8th, and 9th with Ogondo, Adams, and Feliz, and ride that all the way to the World Series. We're not going to talk about what happened at the end, but that's kind of what happened. The rest of the bullpen was just very, very cheap. And
don't
you're
you
gonna
think don't you think that we're not going to see 6 inning guys, 7 inning guys anymore? It's going to all be 5 innings. Go through the batting order twice, and then pull the bullpen in starting there. So you're really going to have 4 guys to kind of keep it close.
Yes, but to to Jorge's point, we saw this the one thing that sticks out to me was when the Royals won the World Series, right? They had such a dominant bullpen. And in the playoffs, we all know that's what matters the most. And having those guys that could go multiple innings, right? And the way the architecture of baseball now is that you kind of all the bullpen guys really need to be able to be stretched out to go an inning, and third inning, and 2/3 with a 3-batter minimum rule, right? Kind of unless it ends an inning, it's very important that they have depth there. But I would have loved this. The Reds have done a great job growing talented pitchers within their farm system. I just want them to use that to leverage that commodity into trading for, premium bats, because the Reds can churn these guys out. They've got guys in the minor leagues right now that could step in and start to be serviceable guys, but they just have nothing for a way of hitting. And I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know, because they got Chris Valleca in now. This is his first year. But I want to say this before we go to the next thing. They did make a hell of a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They traded for Ke'Bryan Hayes, who's arguably one of the best, if not the best, defender in all of baseball, right? He is amazing, but he's one of the worst hitting regulars in all of baseball. So it's kind of hilarious that the Reds would do that. To their benefit, though, these first 30 games that he's hit like at a 120 rated runs created plus. He's hitting the hell out of the ball. You're talking like a 280 average, 350 on base, and like 450 slugging percentage. He's done really, really well. Is it something like change of scenery type thing that we've seen this kind of before in all the sports? I don't know. But that would be a great deal if that ended up, because I'm bashing on the Reds. I do want to give them credit, so that's why I mention it.
I got a question. How does an expansion draft work? Because there's talks about expansion in the league, but I don't even know how draft works.
Well, they did it back in '95, right, with the Rockies and Marlins. So
protect a certain number of players.
Yeah, but does it work? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a limit and then they pick, right? Those two teams will alternate picks so they can build that franchise. That's a good point, Jorge. I'm going to look that up.
So I definitely want to talk more about expansion, but do we not have 2 teams already that probably don't deserve Major League Baseball teams, with
at least
Miami, and it hurts me to say this, Jorge, but Tampa Bay? Like, they can't draw fans. The weather's just too nice out there. What's the deal? Like, how do we fix how do you add 2 teams when you can't sell out? Can't sell more than 20,000 seats to those games.
How big of a problem is that, though? The team makes money. The owners make money. The players have the money. They get paid, whatever it is. They're not the last payroll in the league. So the fact that the fans don't support them or don't show up, is that a terrible problem? We see the games on TV and thinking, oh, nobody cares. Okay, but it's a business. The business of winning, and the Rays have done a good job at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then making money. And obviously they've made a good job at that. So,
and you get cheap tickets, and you get to sit down front row, get to know the players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those of us that do want to go to the game, we have a better opportunity than if we lived in New York or LA.
Mm-hmm.
I met a guy about a month ago told me that somebody's season seats in LA are $300,000 a year. I'm like, what? $300,000 to be kind of behind home plate. Good seats, but come on, like that's over $250,000 for some seats. Yeah, here in Tampa, I can go watch a game tonight for probably $12. So, and I'm going to be 10 feet from the field.
So here, let me read this real quick, going back to the expansion thing, because that's a great question. The Rockies and Marlins expansion worked through the expansion draft in November of 92. For some reason, I thought 95. I think I was doing the strike here. Where both teams picked 35 players by alternating picks from existing clubs that had protected this is crazy. Only 15 players.
That's what I
You
thought.
know,
I
because a
remember that.
lot of the times they talk about, when trades are made in baseball, they're like, is he a top 20 guy in terms of their farm depth, right? So that's pretty interesting. Players could only be selected once per round from each team, and existing clubs could add to the protected list after each round. So, to your Jorge, that was a great question. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you do have to make it 15, so you're not picking nothing but, not saying scrubs, but, quality players so that people will come out for it. But, I don't know. And they're talking about this realignment thing, but they got to get through this whole salary cap, salary floor deal that's going to be coming up, because I feel like that's the most ominous thing in all of sports right now is what's on deck here.
How soon after Miami became a team did they win the World Series?
Oh, so that was 97.
Okay.
Because because that would have been 95 was the Braves, 96, 98, 99, and 2000 were the Yankees. So yeah, it was 97.
Yeah. In NHL, I mean, the expansion draft is something weird because they, Las Vegas Knights, when they came around, they picked like all the best players, cherry picked them from every team, it seemed like, and they were in the playoffs and in the finals. I mean, almost year one. So
I really do think that, we could probably do a full podcast on something we really very rarely talk about is the AL teams. I mean, like we may need to just do like an off day talking about the AL team, talking about the expansion, because man, I feel like we don't have enough time to get to everything we need to get to today. But we
can do that this week. We'll have a AL baseball special. I'll be down to watch the Mariners tonight, Cleveland tomorrow. That'll be fun. Big Dumper hit a home run yesterday. I don't know if he's still leading the league, but
I believe so.
Yeah, like I want to talk about like who from the AL is gonna, win the MVP. Like we're getting down.
I saw some numbers, and I don't know if anybody can catch Judge from what he's doing.
No, I don't think what Judge's overall game. I think he's a lock.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll give it to Ohtani in the American League anyway, even though he's National League. They'll probably just give it to him. Like, hey, buddy.
They already put his name on last month, so
let's just say I would bet on it.
Well, man, it's been good talking to you guys. I guess we'll get that special episode going really quick because there's a lot to talk about there. I don't know how soon the league thinks that they're going to expand, but apparently with the announcement a few weeks ago, is coming sooner than we thought. So, so that's cool. All right. Well, by the time we talk again, week 1 of the NFL will be on the books, and we're gonna see how our projections tally up. Before we go, do you have any closing notes?
No,
go Chiefs.
Skol, baby.
Go Chiefs. Go Dodgers. Let's do it.
Right, well, good talking to you guys, and thank you for everybody for listening. You can always find us in your favorite podcast app like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or you can go to our YouTube channel, First and Inches Podcast, or our website, firstandinchespodcast.com. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great day.
See ya.